What is a histogram? A histogram is like a bar graph, except that it has what we call a continuous x-axis. And I'm going to show you what I mean by continuous here. So individual values are put into bins of a certain size on a histogram. So for a bar graph, what you see is that each bar represents some unique or different set of values. So here in the bar graph on the left, this is some party in the European Parliament, and the bar graph is showing the number of seats they won. But each party along the x-axis is some unique thing. On a histogram, running along the x-axis are a continuous set of numbers. So on this histogram showing the heights of trees, you see that there's a continuous string of numbers from 60 to 90, and in this case, 60 to 90 feet. Every histogram that we look at is going to be following this certain pattern with the x and y axis. So the y-axis is always going to have what we call the frequency. And this is the number of data points in a certain bin. And I'm going to show you what I mean by bins here on the right. But first, let's talk about the x-axis. The x-axis has the value and size of bins. So what do I mean by bins? What I'm talking about is that on a histogram, each section of this continuous x-axis is broken up into little sections. And then the number of data points that fit within this section gives us the height of the bar. So for example, we can see that there are three cherry trees that are between 60 and 65 feet tall. Let's go through a couple of vocabulary things here. The range of a histogram is the spread of the x values. Basically, what that's telling us is how many values that this histogram covers. So we often do the range as the maximum minus the minimum x values. So maximum x value minus minimum x value. And so for our example of this cherry tree histogram, we can see that the maximum value is 90 feet and the minimum value is 60 feet. So you can probably see from this histogram pretty easily that the spread of x values is 30 feet going from 60 to 90. But I'll show you how we would calculate that value. We could do 90 feet minus 60 feet, which is equal to 30 feet. And so if you have a bigger spread or not as convenient numbers, you can do that with subtraction instead of just seeing it and eyeballing the range.